Here's a question for you. Did you create the body that you are claiming to sit in? Were you there with Mom and Dad when they were bumping uglies and the sperm and the egg met? No. So it wasn't your sperm or your egg that created the body. It wasn't you that thought up a name to put on that body, was it? Were you in a three-way conversation in this contract? Not interloping like third-party type? Okay, it wasn't you that thought up that name. Okay, so that's intellectual property rights, copyrights, and all the rest of it. I guess Mom and Dad or, somebody in the family originally, it doesn't matter where it is, but the point is, you didn't think it up, did you? You took it as granted. You weren't there when Mom and Dad went down to the registration office to sign over the body they created that they named, gave that ship, the vessel, Vassal, its Escutcheon. What the legal name is the nameplate or the escutcheon that is over the fucking keyhole. You have to move the escutcheon out of the way to see through the keyhole. Then you go through. You see, people in the legal name fraud or the legal name reality, legal world think it's the answer. Well, it's the answer to every fucking legal problem, yeah, but it's not the answer to what I'm talking about. When you move that legal name escutcheon away from the keyhole, that escutcheon contains everything in your literal physical reality, your emotions, every experience you've had, the legal world, the religions, all of the programs that have been shoved into you are in that escutcheon reality. Those that are living in a legal remedy world are living in an illusion, thinking that you are in some way involved. Are you emotionally tied? Oh, sorry to hear that. Here, I'll make it really easy for people. You want to take up the legal name contract? It's nothing to do with me. You're going to have to talk to my mom and dad. That was their contract. And there's no disputing that. It wasn't my contract. I didn't go to the registration office and say, here, I surrender. Take my meat stick and my soul. Please, Satan. And that's what you're doing. This is costing your soul. Your soul is being fed on. And this is why they love putting honey in the trap. Possessions. Those are my kids, my property. No, they're not property. You, as a parent, made them property. So in your legal, literal world, you demon death eater, you. Sorry, I think of humanity a little bit more than property. And you see a lot of people out there promoting the property thing and all these different legal it's nonsense. Because here's the truth. You're already in breach of contract the instant you utter the name because you have nothing to do with the contract. One, you're a third-party interloper. Two, it's registered and copyrighted by the Crown. They say it in a couple of pages in their own book that all things are copyrighted. In the same book, they also say that the Crown does not assert copyright. Well, why would they? Because they're screwing all of humanity. Why would you accuse somebody of legal name fraud in the Crown? Because hey, wait a minute, they're guilty of legal name fraud, so am I. I don't know, if I was a criminal, I wouldn't tell anybody. I'd just go along and take 98, 99% of everything in the most literal sense and allow, that's the 99%. They're taking it. You're the 1% trying to live on it. Feels like a bit of a struggle, doesn't it? Filling out paperwork and signing, and oh yeah. The only thing that's got you enslaved is you thinking you're a legal name, because every time you think you're that, you go back to the point where mom and dad registered and you're third-party interloping on a contract, infringing on copyright. Are you allowed to use somebody else's copyrighted material without their permission? Did any of you get a bar card or a permission slip? Did mom and dad get a permission slip and staple it to the birth certificate saying, this is a legally registered name and it's copyrighted. However, you have the right of use of this copyrighted material to create identification with, because it says right on the birth certificate, warning, not to be used for identification purposes. Yet you cannot get anything without it. You weren't involved. And there it is, right for you. You didn't provide the egg or the sperm. You didn't provide the gift, gamete fallopian transfer, copyright transfer, registration of the name created by someone else, not you. You are in breach of a contract, third-party interloping, not because of the Crown, because you go along with mom and dad's contract. You're not buying into the Crown's bullshit. You're buying into the Crown's bullshit they sold your mom and dad. That sold it to you, thinking that was you. That's my name. My mom and dad gave it to me. No, they didn't. They gamete interfallopian transfer, which is a conception outside of the body. It's a concept. It's an allegory to see beyond this veil. Okay, so it's the idea that is transferred. The id, ia, which is yan yin, creation intent. So if you're a third-party interloper, how many times? I've done it many times in the old legal days, you know, when I was really asleep, like most of humanity. Anybody ever used a third-party interloping thing? Yeah? Yeah, me too. That's how I was able to discover how I was third-party interloping. I just stopped blaming everything outside of me and started to get a little serious with me. What am I guilty of? And apparently, legal name makes you guilty of all crimes on the planet, all 70 million or more. At the same time, you unclean hands, third-party interloping, profiteering middleman, merchant whore of Babylon, marked with the beast number 666 called legal name. Got one? Use one? Are you an id entity? Get the id EA? See, this is the thing, when people get defined into a little box, Webster's Dictionary, that word means this and this and this and nothing else. Well, did you use the German one? Did you use the French one for that sound? And I know this is hard for people to accept. I know it is. It was for me too. I am no different than any of you. This walk that I have done, I put it all on the line. And this truth, in the physical, literal sense, cost me everything. So it's paid for. Between me and creation, this little truth that I'm sharing, it's already paid for. It's free. What is free? Free is free. So that's what I am. I'm free in all ways.